A familiar face in McAllen has been tapped to lead a group of RGV leaders to try to find solutions to the region's drought and lack of water from Mexico. Border Report's Sandra Sanchez met with him today on South Padre Island, and she is live in the newsroom to tell us more about what this group hopes to do, who's on it, and why. Sandra?
Good afternoon. Less than a month after retiring from a decade as McAllen City Manager, Roy Rodriguez has jumped into a new role. He is chairing the new South Texas Water Working Group, which is full of state and local lawmakers, county judges, irrigation and agricultural experts who are all coming together to try to find long-term solutions to the dwindling water supply in the Rio Grande Valley. Republican Congresswoman Monica de la Cruz formed the group in August. They've only had 2 meetings, and last month Rodriguez was named chair. He tells me they're already behind the curve.
You know, we have to worry about this every several years, about the availability of water for the Rio Grande Valley, and not to mention how much the Rio Grande Valley is growing. So it's very important that we focus on this issue and we come up with real solutions.
Earlier this year, the state's only sugar mill in Hidalgo County shut down because of a lack of water to grow the crops. Several other RGV crops have suffered since, and municipalities and homeowners are worried that soon there won't be enough water for everyone. The biggest threat is because Mexico has not paid its annual water allotments to the U.S. according to a 1944 water treaty. Mexico has paid less than a quarter of what it owes to the Rio Grande so far this 5-year cycle. The region's 2 reservoirs have been historically low, and Rodriguez says they have to look at other ways to get water, like desalination from the Gulf of Mexico.
I'm glad that you decided to do this interview here, because that source of water right next to us someday is going to be used for drinking water. There is just very little doubt in my mind. What I continue to hear is it's very expensive to treat seawater. I know that, but at what point is too expensive too expensive? Is it when we run out of water? And so we have to be looking at all of the alternatives.
Strong words there. He seems determined. Sandra, tell us, what are some of the solutions he thinks are viable?
Yeah, he is determined, and he says desalination is #1. That's being launched in Corpus Christi, and he says their federal and state funding methods are a model that this group hopes to follow. McAllen also has started a $200 million groundwater treatment plant, which he hopes other valley cities will start. And they're also looking at ways to pipe in water because there's too much evaporation from open canals.
What about agricultural water demands and needs?
Yeah, that's a big factor because cities in the Rio Grande Valley only use 20% of the water. Most of it is used by agriculture, and helping farmers to implement drip water technology and other ways to save water will help everyone in the long run, he says.
All right, now, what's this going to cost, and how can it be done?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, and he says that he is looking at public-private partnerships. They are looking at federal and state funding, and they are putting everyone to the table to try to come up with solutions, because this is going to take the entire region coming together to come up with solutions. Live in the newsroom, Sandra Sanchez.
All right, thank you so much, Sandra. And for more on this group, you can go to borderreport.com.